Hello and a good morning. Welcome back to the breakfast show with myself and my co-host who did join us today. Jose is here. Hopefully everything's going well with you and the family right now.
Yes, quick scared, but it wasn't anything too crazy, luckily. Thanks for that, Neil. And yeah, I mean, good morning to everybody watching. Seems like a lot of excitement today. You can see the big smile on my face. A lot of excitement happening. I pumped out like 2 videos in like less than an hour yesterday due to just things coming out. But good morning to everybody joining us, like always. Appreciate the support. And yeah, Neil, I don't know where you want to get started. For some reason, chat is broken on my side, so I might have to reset because I'm not seeing anything coming in.
I'm seeing lots of good mornings. See here some question about United Health. Maybe we'll have to look at that. Yeah, I saw you made a video, and then probably the moment you made that video, you saw the other news come out, and you're like, I have to go back to back, back to back.
That's exactly it. I had just finished. I'm like, you know what? Time to go to sleep. And then I logged in on X really quick, and everybody's just tweeting about it. So I'm like, all right, back. Time to see what's happening.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm actually reset because I'm not seeing the chat, and I want to obviously interact with the community. So be right back.
No problemo. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. We even have some evenings here. And let's put him back here. Let's see.
There we go. Much better.
Much better. Yeah, we are starting usually at 8 a.m., which is way earlier. So we're not going to start at 6 a.m. Eastern because Jose still has to sleep a little bit. And so we do 8 till 9:30, 9:45 or so, which should be good. So in the meantime, futures are, let me actually show you, futures are green. Dow is red, but S&P and Nasdaq are green, which makes sense because, we've got some pretty good news that came out late yesterday. So Nvidia and AMD are actually up 5% right now. We're going to talk a little bit about that, although Jose already made a video about it yesterday. Asian markets are green across the board here. Europe is also green right now. And then if we look at the euro dollar, 1.16, and the 10-year is, doesn't want to show me. Great.
You broke it, Neil. Good job.
Yeah, because this is the this is I think from Germany, not from the United States. But anyways, I think it's at 4.4 or something like that. We do have a CPI report coming out in about 10 minutes or so. So if any of you do have the numbers, put them in chat. We'll put them on the screen, and then we'll go look for the full report. So CPI should come out in about 10 minutes or so. That could definitely change the way futures are looking at right now. Other than that, what do we have here? Nebius, is Nebius up still today? Pre-market a little bit. Neil bought more Nebius and it pumps. Coincidence? I think not. I think not. Unfortunately, yeah, fortunately, unfortunately, but yeah, it did bump. But Nvidia right now up 4.42% at the moment, pre-market. And I believe
AMD
is about the same, also 4.7%. So we're above $150 right now for AMD. Pretty good.
Yeah, so I saw also a lot of other kind of semiconductor stocks in general, or anyone who kind of is in that market follows certain sentiment. For example, I just don't understand why. But CoreWeave is up 7% right now. In forms of, let's see, what else do I see? AMD up 4%, Nvidia up around there. Astera Labs up a nice amount as well. TSM up nearly 2%. The overall SMH, so the semiconductor ETF that has a lot of exposure to various companies, mainly Nvidia, is up nearly 2% right now as well. Marvell up around 1.7%. Even Broadcom is up over 1%. So it does seem like a nice bullish sentiment. I am shocked that Micron is only up about 1.2% on this, just because I'm gonna guess Micron can also definitely benefit from more demand in any type of memory solution.
Yeah, and I'm seeing here some semiconductor equipment makers are only up 2% or so pre-market at the moment. So your Lam Research, ASML, not really moving that much at the moment. But of course, that will change probably throughout the day. Again, it's good news, right? Maybe actually pull that one up. This was basically it, right? Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang promotes AI in Washington, D.C. and China. So if you want to go, I'll just scroll and zoom.
Yeah, I think the biggest concept was paragraph 4. Jensen Huang also provides an update to customers, noting that NVIDIA is filing applications to sell the NVIDIA H20 GPU again. The U.S. government has assured NVIDIA that the licenses will be granted, and NVIDIA hopes to start delivery soon. And they also mentioned that they have a new fully compliant RTX Pro GPU that is ideal for digital twin AI for smart factories and logistics. So Neil, first thing that kind of tells me here, first, it doesn't seem like the export restrictions are being pushed away, right? Because they still need to submit the licenses. The only thing we have right now is that the licenses are going to be approved. Historically, when you have kind of these export restrictions, there's always, you could just submit a license, but theoretically, if it is kind of an AI chip, you just won't get approved, no matter how many licenses you request to get granted. Here, that's changing. But the thing that isn't changing is that export restriction is still in place. So the second thing is they do mention that they have a fully compliant RTX Pro GPU that is ideal for some form of AI market. So I think that's the other. That's a new technology. That's a new product they're entering that market that doesn't need export license approval. So there is that's the great thing here was two individual segments, one with the still with the current export restrictions, the other one that bypasses that restriction. And if we remember from Q2 from their previous earnings, they mentioned that Q2 by not having the Chinese market, they lost about $8 billion in revenue. So assume maybe a similar run rate for 4 quarters. That's what, $32 billion in revenue. Now give that price to sales ratio of 10. I would say the Chinese market is probably a lower price market than other players. So price to sales ratio 10, you're at least adding a $320 billion a market cap if you give this market just a 30 on that 32, and that now you're not assuming growth in inference. And if the Chinese market starts to get more, I mean, a lot of people there, right, Neil? So then if you're going to need a lot of inferencing compute power, so that market can grow dramatically there. Oh, yep, there we go. That quarter two outlook, anticipated loss of 8 billion due to the H20. So this is pretty big, I think. And if we see like 300 plus market cap, people are going to say $300 billion plus in market cap. I mean, we just did a quick math of just giving it a 10x without any revenue growth. Can really get there. So it's pretty exciting. Now the unexciting part happens. Now that the China market was now a tailwind, now the potential of it being banned again is now a potential headwind, right? So it's that seesaw effect here with Nvidia. Now it's like, what happens if Trump or the administration gets mad at China in the next few weeks? Can we get this taken off again? Can we no longer get the licenses approval? So this is the I guess the volatility that we're going to be seeing in this market. Any random news about export restrictions can obviously cause stocks to go down again.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if it's banned again. We have here Irving's asking how they convinced Trump to open up China. So that last sentence here that Jensen said, we believe that every civil model should run best on the US technology stack, encouraging nations worldwide to choose America, right? So this is basically it. And I'm pretty sure he said, look, H20, although it's a very good product, it is outdated compared to what we are releasing right now and what we will be releasing next year. So it would be in the US best interest if we could be selling those things into China so that they are using our tech and not developing their own and then selling their own tech to other companies and other nations. That's just how I would probably deal with this situation right now. And yes, it might also have to do with some trade discussion and tactics for sure.
I agree. I mean, money coming in there is going to be great for US, right? So the other thing is, someone asked a question: do we really want China to have access, or could this be a big, be bad down the road? I want to say we're not giving them the best chips. We're giving them watered down chips. We still have the best technology. If even having the best of the best technology, and we still couldn't beat or outperform, that seems to be a us problem. Right? If you, the other thing is, at least for these watered down chips, there is some form of competition from Huawei for the watered down chips. I'm not talking about kind of like the H100 or the other stuff, but for the watered down chips, there is some form of competitive play there from Huawei in China. So might as well US get the money, might as well US get taxes out of it, and more money coming into the government. So I think that's how, if I was to play a way of how Jensen kind of talked to Trump about it, it was pretty much as that. Look, it's as simple as they have a player already competing with the H20. If we can sell it there, you're going to be seeing more money of influx coming into the US via, obviously, we're going to be paying a lot in taxes and stuff like that. And then, like you mentioned, that same portion that you highlighted, the technology is going to be running on on a US stack opposed to a Chinese stack, and that can help fuel even the rest of the world as well to continue to build on US technology.
Yeah, plus don't forget, like Eric here says, Chinese RP aren't stupid, right? They are developing their own tech. I mean, Huawei is a very good company. They've shown what they can do already in the smartphone market. And so, yeah, it's not like, oh, China is number two, but they're far, far away. No, you give them another couple of years, and I think they would have come out with a very, very good and competing product. Because when, I mean, that's the thing there. When the country sets its sights on something, they will all do what they're told. And so you have 50% of the what was it, AI researchers or something like that in China.
Yeah, AI developers or something. Just the
Yeah.
developer ecosystem is pretty strong there. The final thing I would say is it kind of just creates this splitwise for Chinese companies, right? If you didn't have Nvidia there, all the money of AI chips would go to that domestic play. At least here, you're splitting it up, maybe even more than splitting it up. You're going more Nvidia, so less money goes into those Chinese competitors. So it kind of helps fuel even more US technology improvements. And this one's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I wonder how much truth there is to something like this. Obviously, sometimes you have to say some stuff. But if you do have the best of the best chips, you're going to be using them for all types of applications. But I think that could be another way that might have been used to throw that out there.
We do have here Johnny saying that US CPI came in at 2.7% year over year, estimated number 2.6. US core CPI 2.9, estimated 3.0. So let's now find the whole report. In the meantime, I do want to show one extra thing here because we did have big banks report in the morning. So first up, we have here JP Morgan's CFO saying that the consumer spending is fine. It's not booming, but they don't see signs of stress at the moment. Big news coming out for Uber. So Uber is teaming up with China's Baidu to roll out robotaxis in Asia and the Middle East later this year. Baidu's Apollo Go AVs will run on Uber's platform through a multi-year deal. The fleet has already completed over 11 million miles, million rides across 15 cities. And yeah, Uber is up around 1% right now pre-market. These were the results for Citigroup. So again, banks have reported pretty good earnings reports at the moment. AMD will, of course, also resume shipments of the MI308 AI chips to China after receiving exports license approval. So that's great. And now, we also have another Oscar downgrade this time from UBS, but I'll touch on that in a bit because it is. Again, it's quite interesting how they're all coming out at the same time when the stock price is already dropping. So let's see. Inflation picks up again in June, rising at 2.7% annual rate. This is great. There is no extra information here. Okay. So maybe someone on X. So maybe someone on X
nailed it.
Has, clickbait. Let's see if someone on X has the whole thing. Probably investing.com. I think they have it. Okay, maybe this should do. Okay, so core CPI is up 2.9. It's less than the forecasted number, but it's up from the previous number of 2.8. We have here month-over-month increase of 0.2. So again, less than forecasted, but more than the month before. As for the general CPI number, up 2.7, so that's higher than the forecasted number and higher than the 2.4% we had the previous reading. So I guess that was the big news, but I don't think the markets are reacting negatively.
I was going to ask that. Yeah, how's the market reacting to something like this?
Currently, I see not much change, but then again, it hasn't really updated. So let's see, pre-market. Only updated 2 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I still don't know. There's this question, and I think a few have come in. We see AMD stock go up, right? We see AMD step go up about 4%, very similar to Nvidia. I haven't looked at their. So Eddie wants to know, do you guys know if AMD has any products that could be approved for China potentially? So in theory, Eddie, they do have the M308. But like
Yes.
we saw, it doesn't seem like the export restriction has been removed. It's just the approval of license. Now, is Jensen the only one that was able to sugarcoat Trump to be able to do this? Or I was gonna ask that, did AMD mention anything about that? So they did. I haven't looked at it.
I mean,
And I
according
wonder
to
if that's,
this post. So
yeah, I'm gonna check their website really quick. I haven't because is this just, I don't want to say clickbaity, but is this just an assumption based on Nvidia's thing, or is there actual facts that we know that the MI308 is kind of doing that? So that's what I would really love to know, because on the, I think most people originally would think yes, because you can ship the H20, you're going to be able to ship the MI308. But from the wording that we saw from the actual management, it seems says it will restart China after US review. Okay.
unfortunately, it's Bloomberg, so it's behind the paywall, and I'm
Okay,
not
well.
paying for that crap. So
All right. So that's definitely good. I mean, obviously, good. That was my only worry, because I didn't do any deep dive information on that one. But let's go back to this super cool CPI stuff.
seeing how much more your food and gas and whatever is going to increase or has already increased, because again, that's the thing with CPI, it's what has happened before, it's not what's happening right now. So this is basically the main overview at the moment. Let's see which one did have the biggest impact here.
Used cars keep going down. Not that I want a new car, but maybe.
No, it's if you sell a car. New vehicles. Okay. I mean, I guess it could have been worse, right? Could have been worse. I mean, the headlines would probably are already probably saying, yeah, inflation is back and all, but I don't really think it's such a huge surprise at the moment. Plus, it does seem like the market is not overreacting. And again, remember, we're back to this. If the CPI number is bad, then this means it's good because the Fed will cut rates, right?
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah,
it's too good, then they will not cut rates. So we're in this little game right here. Bad is good, good is bad. But yeah,
I like the market. Anytime something is bad, it could be good, and anytime something is good, it could be bad, and vice versa. Good,
yeah.
good, good, bad, bad, good, bad, bad.
It seems like the markets. I mean, it updates every X amount of minutes, I guess, futures right now. So it's not really moving that much, or at least not on my end. Let's see if I will get some more information here, and then we'll tackle some questions. I did also see that Google has made a big announcement, energy wise. So funny, we talked about this yesterday. Let's see. Inflation accelerates in June as investors eye tariff-related price increases. Okay, is this? Let's see if this is from now or this is a preview.
Looking to the June CPI report for signs of how earlier rounds of tariffs are impacting prices across the U.S. economy. And Yahoo Finance's Allie now has more on what to expect. Allie.
Hey there, Josh. Yeah, consumers price index for June. It's due bright and early tomorrow morning, and it's expected.
Yeah, it's a preview. Again, with their clickbait stuff. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yahoo Finance.
Oh, man. What do I pay you for? I don't pay you, but
exactly, you don't pay me. Inflation is running hot. I don't get paid.
Oh man! All right, next I'll give you my account next show. I gotta find my password and stuff, all that in my old man notebook. I think I have it. But yeah, I mean, it seems. All right, you just can't have me stop talking about Nvidia. It seems we do get some new price targets. Oppenheimer just upgraded price target to 200 on Nvidia. Bernstein estimates that every 10 billion recovered Nvidia China revenue would drive roughly 25 cents in additional earnings per share, with potential for 40 or 50 cents in earnings per share upside for fiscal year 2026. Eaton, ticker ETN, collaborates on power infrastructure in artificial intelligence. Are they going up with Nvidia? Ticker ETN.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, up 2%.
I'm trying to find the
All right, let me
Google-
look at some questions while you do your stuff, Neo.
Yes.
So let's see. This guy, I don't know why it's the first one I clicked. I'm very bearish on Nvidia at 50p. Companies will switch to Google Cloud and then give up on the AI race altogether because Google has already won.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
But then I don't think TPUs are going to be enough infrastructure for the for this thing. They're still going to need, if you're having, even if you have all, if just one player wins, right now, if just one player wins, you're still going to see this massive need of AI infrastructure and stuff. So it's like, it's all in this scenario, all the money is going to just be spent by Google. That's it. So I don't think it's necessarily worse. Google
So this
just
was-
locked in the world's largest. Nice.
So here again, a 20-year deal, $3 billion agreement with Brookfield to upgrade two Pennsylvania plants. This comes alongside a $25 billion commitment to data centers in Pennsylvania and nearby state. First Energy is also investing $15 billion to modernize the state's grid. So these big tech companies are, of course, making the necessary moves because, well, as we've spoken about yesterday, Meta, right? They've announced that they're huge projects, and again, all of these things do require an insane amount of power. So again, good moves here by the big ones, and especially by our favorite here, Google. So I see some Spanish in the chat. It says, well, what's happening here?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to find. I'm gonna see. Neil, did we talk? We didn't talk about this yesterday. Is Nvidia and AMD up to due to Meta? I mean, I think there's some potential of some of the tailwinds happening. It just continues to showcase that the AI market is still in heavy investing mode. I don't know if you can pull it up. It's kind of the memo of what we know about this Meta application. But yesterday, Mark Zuckerberg announced that they are going to build not just 1 gigawatt data center, but multiple gigawatt data centers. They're actually going to build the first one, I think, is expected to be built by the end of 2026. And a gigawatt is tens of billions of revenue, dollars of revenue for any AI chip company in general. So most of these clusters are going to be run by Nvidia's AI chips. There was actually a report by Semi Analysis that came out yesterday that kind of showcased most of these are actually GB200s and GB300s. But we did see from AMD's AI event that Meta is actually using the MI300s for a lot more stuff. Before it was just some inference in Llama. Now they're using it for even training and inference of their recommendation models, which is their core product. So I think it could go well for AMD as well. Another one that can definitely benefit is Arista Networks, ANET, ticker ANET. Meta is about a double-digit revenue player for that company. In 2022, it's like 22%. In 2023, it was about 17%, and then dropped down to 15%, just because overall revenue growth and diversification. But they still believe for this fiscal year that Meta is still going to be at least a 10% revenue player. And if they're going to be expanding and investing in all these data centers, there's a lot of networking solution happening here. The final thing, Neil, I think this is something we're going to see a lot of other big tech players do. And I do think it has some to do with the Big Beautiful Bill, as the Big Beautiful Bill does have the ability where you can write off all the AI servers on year 1 instead of year 5. So in theory, what you're going to do is you're going to write them all off year 1. You're going to reduce your tax bill dramatically. By reducing your tax bill dramatically, now you have extra amounts of cash that you are going to use to pay these taxes. Instead, use that cash to year 2, increase your capital expenditure, and keep this kind of flow going where you can continue to write them off, have a way lower tax bill, save that tax bill that you had with that kind of depreciation, and use it to build up even more and more data centers until you can't do that anymore. So I think that might be fueling a little bit of the excitement in the AI data center market as well. But regardless, it seems like Mark is going crazy with these build outs.
Correct. I do want to come back to the Nvidia announcements. Just so people know, this won't impact the upcoming earnings report. This will impact guidance probably, because the quarter is done.
No, for Nvidia finishes on July 31st. They are about a month after the traditional. For example, so they AMD, for example, they end on December 30th, and Nvidia ends on January 30th. So AMD finished on June 30th. Nvidia finishes on July 30th, whatever. But now the real question is it's all about when revenue recognition gets hit. And when they get approved with these licenses. So in theory, they have 2 weeks. I think revenue recognition is when the chip actually hits the door of the customer. So if it's, let's say, Alibaba, once Alibaba has it on their doors. So if there's
it's up
somehow
6%.
So if which on Alibaba? So if Alibaba is able to get approved right away, and Nvidia is able to ship them with FedEx next day delivery, obviously not, because these are massive. We know these things are massive, but if that was potentially the case, you could see maybe a little bit of revenue happening here. I'm going to say most likely not, because it probably takes some time for exports, these licenses, to get approved. But it's not impossible. It's what I'm saying. It's not impossible for us to do that. But I agree, Neil. I think the biggest thing is the guidance that they're going to give for quarter 3.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's a big impact. For AMD, okay, AMD is definitely not going to happen. Nvidia maybe, but even then, I think it should be better for investors to just say, forget about Q2. Let's focus on what comes next. I wanna quickly just touch on what happened here. Touch on this Oscar, because Oscar, I mean, you are getting pretty familiar with this company, because it seems like every single day I am covering a downgrade for the stock. So here we have here another downgrade by UBS, downgraded to sell from neutral, lowered the price target from $15 to $11, and right now pre-market stock is down 0.86% or so. Here as well, risk factors, program integrity measures to further pressure enrollment, and lack of stability in exchange environment weakens near-term outlook. Again, me listening to management, especially from that interview from a month ago, I just don't think right now is the right time to panic. Just wait until they report and get way more information. Their own guidance for 2027 is pretty realistic. Doesn't really mean that they have to suddenly explode in growth. No, they'll have to continue compound the 20% revenue since 2024. They've been delivering on that so far, and so yeah. Again, to me, it's quite funny that all of these analysts are following each other one after the other, especially after the stock did come down, and they didn't do this when the stock went up. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I mean, I hold already some shares. I am in this invest and then investigate stage with this one and with United Health. But yeah, I am pretty confident in management's ability to guide correctly. Then listen to analysts that might or might not know what they're saying around these names. So that's about it.
Thank you for that, Neil. The great thing is,
thank you, Roberto.
I was going to show you that. Yeah.
He became a couch investor.
I saw couch investor. I should become a couch investor.
Ariel is going to become a couch investor and a Jose Najarro member pretty soon.
Let's see what else we have here, Neil. I don't follow the quantum market, but just if you do, I'm at SSB mentions QBT wins 332,000 quantum tech orders. Do you guys have any favorites in quantum? I am at SSB. Not really. I mean, $332,000. Hopefully, it's not millions, so I'm guessing it is thousands. It still showcases to me. I mean, it's still very early. I mean, there's people probably in this chat that make more money than that order right there, which I think is crazy. I mean, it's definitely, I guess, could be seen as a nice win overall. I don't follow the market, so I don't know how much this can help up being for revenue. But it still shows that if this is a nice win, there's still a nice long way for the quantum market before it can really kind of expand to the supply chain to be kind of a global domination player. But congrats to all quantum players. Not anything I would want to invest though right now. Neil, you have your favorite quantum stock?
Yeah,
Google.
Google.
Yeah. Rick, good thing I got into CoreWeave yesterday. Thanks, Jose. Rick, I don't know if I said anything bullish on CoreWeave yesterday, but if I did, you're welcome. Let's see. What else do we have? Roberto had this question. Now since he's a couch investor, we have to definitely answer it. So, do you do anything based on macros, Neo? Is there anything that changes? Yeah, you read the question.
No, not really. I know the stocks. I mean, most stocks are at all-time highs. Markets are pretty close to all-time highs, etc. But I just don't see, because for the market to crash, you need a catalyst, and I just don't see a catalyst coming anytime, like a negative catalyst coming anytime soon. In April, we had the tariffs, right? The tariffs that came out of, I mean, not came out of nowhere, but that huge impact on each and every country, which eventually turned out to be a nothing burger right now. That came out of nowhere. Okay, shocked the system. Path, we went down for a week. We recovered. Earlier this year, we have DeepSeek. Came out of nowhere, shocked the stock market for 3 days. Bam, already forgot about this. So right now, and again, if we want to compare it to 2021, for example, you cannot compare it, right? 2021, still pandemic, going from 0% interest rates to then sky high interest rates pretty fast. That shocks the market. Okay, that shocks the market. Plus, everything was super overvalued back then. Now you can be overvalued when rates are very at zero, right? But when rates go from 0 to 4, like this, and things are slowing down because you're exiting a pandemic and growth rates are decelerating, then yes, you have a shock in the system and the whole market crashes. Today, I just don't see that. Yes, CPI report right now, as we've seen, came in a little bit hotter than expected, still far away from what I would call a shock. Unemployment rates, last time we checked, still in the low 4%. So no shock there. Rate cut still right now still expected to be 2 for this year. So again, we're not going higher. We're actually expected to go lower. And some people say, oh, but stock markets is at all-time highs. We should maybe go higher. That's not how things work, right? No, we should not go higher. We should go lower because the data indicates that we can go lower. That's the thing. And the lower we go, the less pressure it puts on a lot of industries, a lot of companies, and a lot of people's wallets as well. So I agree that yes, you can definitely trim some positions, some that have gone up quite a lot, etc., raise some cash, 100%. But am I planning on trimming just because I think macro-wise we're going to have a crash or a pullback? No, that's just me. Personally.
And Neil, feel free to take another question. I need to step out really quickly. I'll be right back.
Yes, no problemo. In the meantime, Let's see. I did see something. Okay. Eric asked here a couple of times DLO or Applied Digital. Pick one. I mean, if I have to pick one, I pick I own both, but of course I own way more. I mean, Applied Digital is a YOLO bet between Jose and myself. DLO I do own a lot more because I do believe in the company and management and all of that. So DLO for me, for sure. Let's talk about Webull. It's quite interesting, right? It's quite interesting that Webull suddenly disappeared. It gained some traction on socials for like a day or two, and then they came out with their Yorkville deal. Although I see that over the last 5 days it did rebound a tiny bit, but not by much. I still believe it's a good company. I just don't understand why they had to choose Yorkville out of all of the other potential partners that they could have worked with. So currently, I'm out of this bet at the moment. Sneaky Hulklot, always a great name. When you show your stocks gains losses, is it with currency gains losses or just the stock? Just the stock, because I don't plan on converting it to euros, right? Right now, I am in a very good position, right? I have euros and I convert them into dollars, which then buys US stocks, which means the stronger the euros, the more shares I can buy in USD, unless I buy European stock, of course. But yes, if I were to sell a position, convert the USD to euros again, I would be losing because, well, USD to euros, I think, is down around 10% already this year. So that's that. But yeah, in my head, I'm not planning on converting back to euros, at least not now. When I retire, yes, but well, I mean, who knows? Who knows where I'll be until then? Yes, the trade desk. The trade desk is joining the S&P 500. Now, the thing with the trade desk is that, one, it's an amazing company. Let me actually find the trade desk real quick. So the trade desk, an amazing company that is up now 13% pre-market. As you can see, the trade desk, of course, this year, I've talked about this a couple of times. We had that huge crash in stock price. One, it was extremely expensive. Two, first miss in 8 years. Okay, first miss in guidance in 8 years. It was a miss because they decided to delay product launch. And so that impacted revenue growth. Now, why have we seen a nice recovery? Well, because last quarter they showed that, again, they're best in class in what they do. And so you see that nice little spike right here, went back down and down. We are going to go above $85 again. But as you can see, and by the way, this is on our nice little partner right here, fiscal.ai, 15% off if you use our link below. As you can see, the trade desk is not a cheap stock, okay? One of the main reasons why it got split in half that quickly is because it was extremely expensive. Now, yes, in the, I think it was $40s, $50 or so, it made a lot more sense. It wasn't cheap either, but it was definitely worth the premium. Okay, it was definitely worth the premium. It's a company that has always traded at a premium, right? Forever. And so the market is willing to pay a premium for this type of profile, right? Margin-wise, very good. Growth-wise, very good here as well. And so it makes sense. Now that we're back at $85, does it make sense? Again, yes and no. Being in the S&P, okay, is great, but does it change that much for the business? You might say that it might get them more recognition, although I think that everyone in the industry already knows what the trade desk does and who they are. So it's nice, but I would definitely not be chasing here. It's would I be trimming? I mean, to go back to the previous question again, trimming, securing profits. No, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that. So great company, but it is now getting back to the very expensive territory for sure. JJ here, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Nila asks every week, but what's your latest best idea? What's your most likely multi-bagger if you had to pick? Ooh, interesting. Jose, we just talked about the traders who got included in the S&P 500. So just so you're up to date here.
Yes.
Best idea, what's a multi-bagger if I had to pick? Well, if I exclude my YOLO bets, right, with Jose, because we are degenerate gamblers here. If we exclude Applied Digital and things like that, Applied Digital, Iron, and these types of names, to me, I answered this before. If I had to choose between Applied Digital and D-Local, I would still put D-Local there for sure. Just because one, market cap wise, still very low, just above $3 billion. It is a company with good margins, although margins, the reason why the stock has gotten hit a lot is because margins went down, but margins are now recovering. This is a company with, a trading P of 22.8 times and a forward P of 18.8 times, while they're expected to grow revenue forward 2 years, 26.8% compounded, and EPS 21.6%. To me, this screams undervalued. This is a very, very fast growing company that is profitable, that the market still just doesn't understand. And so, yeah, of course, it's done. Again, 2021, just forget about what has happened there.
Yeah.
But even over the past...
those are the lost years.
Exactly. Even over the past 3 years. Over the past 3 years, the stock is down still 56%. Over the past 12 months, we have seen a nice little rebound. But over the past 3 years, stock is down 56%. And I'll show you what the business has actually been doing. So if we take the last 3 years, do like this. Let me just hide this real quick. You can see, right? You can see that revenue has increased compounded by 42.8% since 2021. You know what? You say, 2021, forget about that. Okay, 2022, still 31%. So revenue increased by 85.7%, while the stock is down 56% since then. And so, even if I look at some other metrics here, if I look at, for example, TPV, look at TPV since, again, that same period, again, that has increased by 168.5%. So yeah, here I know that in the meantime, you are either, I'm up a little bit, but not by much. But this is a company where I'd say that I'm quite confident to see, for me, triple-digit returns. I've been buying at $8, $7, $9, 10, 11, and so I wouldn't be surprised to see this return triple digits. So becoming a multi-bagger, of course, yes. SoFi, Nebius, these are names that can still run higher, but these are names where I already have triple-digit returns, if I do say so myself. Same with Rocket Lab, but yeah, D-Local still under the radar for sure. And some might even say Oscar could also be under the radar, though it is getting a lot more attention, but it seems like it is a misunderstood type of company. And that's why I am very much waiting for the next earnings report to hear more about management.
The great thing, Neil, is like every week we don't need to find the next new thing, right? And you've talked about it. The next week, it could be the same thing you talked about a month ago or 2 months ago. It's still just very attractive. Like you've been talking about Google, about Nebius and all these for quite a while. So it's like, I feel like one of my biggest regrets in the past was always trying to chase the new thing, thinking that the old thing was old news because I already owned it in my portfolio. But it's not. Usually those old things, you have them there and you've done your thesis behind them. So you don't always need to find the next new shiny rock. The rock you might have might be the next, I don't know, diamond or super rare metal there. So Sandy, yeah. What's the average price on chat for Nvidia? And no meme stocks allowed? Meme stocks always allowed. I have CoreWeave. As Neil, you got me calling this a meme now. But yeah, Sandy wants to know what's the average price around the group here for Nvidia.
Do we have Martin in the chat? I don't think he's here today.
Martin was he was like in the low singles, right? for me, I did a lot of my purchasing. I would say mine are in the low teens. I wish it would be in the low singles. Mine just to average cost averaging up. It ended up going into the low teens. But my first buys would definitely be in the singles. Neil, here are rate cuts a catalyst for PayPal stock?
I just want to look at what
Go ahead.
what my first Nvidia buy was ever. You can take a guess. I will tell you right now. Yeah, you can
first
take
buy.
my first buy. Yeah, because I did own Nvidia for a while.
It's probably like $2 if your first buy.
Yeah, not far. $3.68. Ah, lovely, great times. and I still remember. I remember because I was here. I was working here, and I was like telling my coworker, which was my manager actually, and I told him, yeah, I think Nvidia is a good buy because Nvidia crashed after that crypto winter, right? Because nobody wanted GPUs anymore, blah blah blah. So I remember back then it went from $200 to 175 or so pre-split.
Pre-split,
And
yeah.
I was like, it doesn't really make that much sense. Like this demand for GPUs will come back. Of course, back then nobody really talked about data centers, but demand for GPUs did come back, and so I remember buying it. So now split adjusted $3.68. Huh? Imagine, young me.
Yeah.
Knew what was up.
I mean, under 4 isn't that crazy, right? I mean, it's just 7 years ago. I think 7-8 years ago, you could have gotten this at
I mean, even less than 3 years ago, you would have gotten it at $16. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's crazy how this has created, and it's insane how much money. I mean, this is one of the biggest free cash flow players out there. Only I think like 2 or 3 players
This is
make more
crazy.
free cash flow than this company.
These numbers are crazy, like what it has done before and what it's still expected to do. And then you'd like check, oh, market cap 4 trillion. You're like, what the heck is this? This is insane. This is insane.
Manuel says this is nonsense. He doesn't own Nvidia.
2 shares. Hello.
No. I meant I think Manuel meant him. Or I don't know if he was talking about you.
No, for me.
Oh, for you.
No, I didn't sell at $4 when sold at 4.1. No. I more than 3x'd, which is fine, but could have been way more. But okay, you live and you learn.
We also have a super Google bull here on chat. That pretty interesting. I'm just looking at the chat real quick. Let's see. Any thoughts? So we have a question here, Neo, from Yo-Yo. Any thoughts on Intel's AI alternative system, Gaudi? Can it sometimes be competitive in relationships to AMD and Nvidia? I don't think so. I think if you were to talk to me maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, it would have been a different story because Gaudi did come out, especially Gaudi 2 was kind of around the same time frame when the H100 was out. There hasn't been much of an update to Gaudi. And in that time frame, AMD kind of announced the MI350 and is releasing it already. Nvidia's already up to the Blackwell. So and we know that Intel has kind of released their roadmap, I believe, right now. I don't know if Falcon Shores is Falcon Shores still a thing for Intel, or is that out?
I think that's only internal, no?
Is that only internal now? Just for research and development purpose to make sure the generation after that will be better. So yeah, I mean, Intel messed up here.
But look at this thing that I found.
Mm-hmm.
It shows total cost of ownership for AI GPU ASICs for AI training. And if you look at Gaudi 3 here, not bad, I'd say, compared to the others for AI GPUs. And then here on the right, you have AI ASICs. Not bad. I mean, underrated, I'd say. So
yeah, the thing with it is Gaudi was pretty much an ASIC solution. It was just meant for one thing. And I think that's what kind of hurt it a lot, where you're only using it for a certain type of workload, where AMDs and Nvidias are kind of that GPU. So I wouldn't consider Gaudi 3 a GPU. It would be, it's a very niched chip that's meant to do just AI workloads. So I would have actually put that closer to more of like some form of AI ASIC opposed to a GPU.
I did not forget your question. I just weaved. But yeah, I think so. I think interest rate cuts could stimulate more spending. Borrowing costs are coming down as well, although I don't think people are going to PayPal for for loans and all. But spending should be increasing, and if spending increases, then you have some catalyst here for PayPal. And so I do view it as a positive thing. Now, of course, rates coming down, you might be making a little bit less interest income, right, on your cash. But then again, so will a lot of other companies out there that do get a lot. For example, a Robinhood. Yeah, Robinhood has quite a lot of revenue coming from interest income. Same with Circle, right? The stable coins. So Circle makes the most. The majority of their revenue comes from interest income, and so it's going to be interesting to see how that impacts these types of businesses. But yeah, for PayPal, I do view it as a positive thing. Now, will that be the catalyst that PayPal needs for it to actually move back up? Remains to be seen. I think the bigger catalyst is just going to be the upcoming earnings report and guidance, and the market will suddenly realize that, oh, actually there is something interesting going on here for sure. Anything else you want me to look at on fiscal AI right now?
I don't know, Neil. Any questions here coming into mind?
What? Isn't it way more? Like way more. I bought three 2010 Illustrator Pokemon cards for 175 each. PSA 9, 9, and 10. PSA 10 is 5 to 20,000 now.
That's a wide range. How do you even have them?
I thought the Illustrator, maybe they are a different one. Because I thought the Pikachu Illustrator one was worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more. But that's crazy that you managed to buy those in 2010. That's nuts.
Neil, real question here. Is AMD still a buy?
My question to you actually is your PC, your new laptop, does it have an AMD CPU?
Yeah, it has the what's it called? I ended up buying the Zephyrus G14. And let me see. I forget which. The AI9 HS370.
What the heck is that? AI9?
Yeah.
HX370. Huh.
They need to come up with better naming. It's definitely one of the things.
Yeah, for sure. What the heck is this? Okay, AI9 HX370. So what do I have? I have a Ryzen 7. Huh.
Yeah, I think they it's weird naming that they have going on now. But I think it's a beauty.
Yeah, Ryzen 7 8845HS Radeon 780M graphics. That's what I have as a processor, and Nvidia RTX 4070, I think now. Yeah, 4070. So is AMD a buy right now? I mean, it was a screaming buy before. Right now, I would say it's a hold. I am I'm
Yeah,
downgrading
same.
it to a hold.
I'll do the same. I'll do the same, Neil. I think it's actually, I do agree it's a hold right now. I'm not selling, but I'm not buying at these levels.
Yeah, it's I'm downgrading
Yeah.
to a hold. And actually, I wanted to show this because
Yeah.
China for AMD is a pretty big deal for revenue. So if we go and look at that, pa-pa-pum.
And first, let me say, Chris B. Peng, big fan of penguins. I'll make it a meme stock of my portfolio. I actually talked about penguins in my newsletter. So Chris, I don't know. I see you're from my channel. I don't know if you've heard of it from there. I did a deep dive on it, but I also did a quick report on their earnings, and I agree. This is it's a one. Just it's an AI company, about $1 billion. They do kind of like AI software solutions and some form of infrastructure plays. It's one that you can kind of see like just the meme run out of it, and one day kind of create some meme momentum. But yeah, Chris, I like that one too as a meme play.
Penguin.
Yeah, it's Penguin Solutions. Like is the stock.
Yeah, PENG.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Crazy things here.
Well, yeah. If you want to learn more, I definitely talked about it in my newsletter. Chris.
Let's actually put this for the last couple, let's say 5 years or so. So if we look at AMD here, revenue from China, it has actually increased, I believe, the second, no. So it has increased here, what is it? 167% since 2020. So we went from it being $2.3 billion for AMD to now $6.23 billion last fiscal year. And as you can see here in fiscal 23, they did take a little dip. For fiscal 25, of course, we are probably going to take a little hit at first, should reaccelerate, but as a percent of overall revenue, it is much higher than China for Nvidia, for example. And I think Intel China is bigger for Intel as a whole also. So it's like Intel, AMD, Nvidia when we look at exposure to China.
I mean, I think the interesting thing, or a lot of this could also be consumer products, right? So it doesn't. It could be the consumer CPUs and consumer GPUs that also enter. So there's still a lot of growth potential, and now the addition of the Chinese market here. I'm pretty excited to hear what Lisa Su has to say in the upcoming earnings.
I agree. We will stream it.
Yeah. Because do you know how much? Maybe we can go to their most recent earnings. What was the or the transcript, Neil, for the earnings? Just try custom summary, if anything. What was the China app impact? I wonder if it'll give us a great answer here. China impact of China export. Yeah, export.
Something like this.
Right, let's see
someone
what it
asked
gives
me
us.
what the local average is. It's $10.16 at the moment.
Yeah, so it tells us there, export control revenue. So for that quarter, because it was only for a portion of it, it was a 700 million revenue hit, and for quarter two, it's about a 1.5 billion dollar revenue hit. Oh no, 1.5 billion. Okay,
for the full year.
Yeah. Okay. So 700 million for this quarter, and for the next quarter, I believe it was the thing.
I think 700.
I think it was 700, 800.
800, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, for AMD, this is a big deal, and would love to hear what happens here. The other thing, Neil, is I wonder how much, if it's possible for Chinese companies, both for AMD and Nvidia, to say, look, I don't know if export restrictions are going to come back online. Let me double order and triple order right now and take all these chips just to hoard them, just in case export restrictions happened again. Because I
chips
could
are
see
ready.
that being a possibility. Yeah. I mean, I don't think they destroyed them. They had the inventory. They had to write them off. Now, how does this work? They wrote him off. How do you write it back in? I don't think is there an accounting write back in that they can do. So that's going to be an interesting way about it. But yeah, they do have some chips ready to go.
Did you see this yesterday from TensorWave?
TensorWave.
8,192 liquid-cooled MI325, largest AMD training cluster in North America. And they're also working. They've also ordered MI350s, but that's coming. That's coming soon for them. So pretty good. Pretty good. How does one buy Pokemon? Jose is now a dealer. He's been dealing.
Yeah, I'm a dealer. Yeah.
Chinese kids playing with Pokemon have more money than us hardworking normal people. It's Japanese.
I was gonna say, right? It is Japanese.
But funny enough, Pokemon is picking up in China. If you look at Chinese Pokemon cards, they have been going up in prices a lot recently. A very important question, actually. Just to
Neil,
know who I'm
need to
dealing
step
with.
out again. Check the little one again. Sorry.
Go ahead. I can prepare my big question for him later. Maybe I will ask the question to you guys in the meantime. If this thing wants to load, which it doesn't. It does. Let's see. No, this doesn't work. And the markets are opening in 9 minutes. We're not going to forget. That. I did see there are. Let's see what we got. There are rumors that Intel will produce GPU chips for Nvidia because of the demand. Yeah, those have been rumors for a while. I mean, it would be great, of course. It would be great to actually have a catalyst that is okay. Now we have new foundry customers, big foundry customers, and Nvidia being one of them could be huge, but remains to be seen if that happens. Don't forget that AMD is also switching. I mean, moving quite fast from 18A to 14A because they do believe that with 14A they could get leadership. Technology leadership, dominance, whatever they call it, back. So we'll see what happens. But that's going to be a very interesting earnings call with Libutan, for sure. Thoughts on Grab? I mean, I've talked about Grab at, what was it, $3 and something last year. It's a very interesting company. I like these companies just like these companies outside of the US, right? This one is more focused in Southeast Asia. I like my companies also in Latin America. That's why I have Mercado Libre, for example, and dLocal, although dLocal's markets are emerging markets. But Grab is very interesting, just like C Limited. Very interesting because they do focus on these interesting markets and markets that are still expected to grow a lot. Grab is trying to be that super app type of company. I do think that, yes, it has gotten a lot of hype, especially at the start of this year. A lot of people just talked about it. I mean, I talked about it, Amit talked about it, and suddenly it became a huge thing. Still, a very good company that does what it should be doing. I have exposure to it through Uber. So if you're an Uber shareholder, Uber holds, I think, 13% or so stake in Grab. So if Grab becomes successful, Uber's investment in Grab is going to be a good one. So yeah, I am bullish on Grab. I just don't own it because I have Uber, and that's good enough. Good enough for me. I mean, good enough exposure for me. Novo Nordisk, still the same. Good company, very profitable, very big. Still expected to grow. So no extra information from me with regards to Novo Nordisk. I don't own any shares in Novo Nordisk at the moment. Would you drop ASML in order to add dLocal? You're asking for yourself, not for me, because I don't own ASML. I only own dLocal. would that be a risky? I mean, it's up to you, right? Do you want exposure to a fintech player and a company that is worth 100 times less or something like that than ASML, or do you want exposure to ASML, which is a crucial player of the semiconductor industry? I just, why would you sell ASML? That's the question, right? I don't see a reason to sell ASML. I do see plenty of reasons to buy the local, but that's not a reason to sell a company like ASML. So that's that. Quick question. Who are we picking here? This is, of course, a very important question. I wonder what my chat and Jose's chat is going to answer here. Who are we picking here for your starters? Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. Please let me know down in the comment section below, and then we'll see what Jose will say when he comes back. In the meantime, this is the state of a pre-market right now. We see Dow basically flat but reddish. S&P and Nasdaq are still green. At the moment. Oil is also flat. Okay, the 10-year is at 4.4%, so not much has changed right now with regards to that. I do wonder. Let me pull up Alibaba, because Alibaba was up 6% or so pre-market. So I assume something has happened in China. Let's pull this up. So Alibaba is up, back to $114 right now. So we're up a nice little amount. I do wonder if something has happened. Yeah, up 6%. Did something happen in China? Did they also release their own? Yeah, actually, I'll make a poll. Much better. Smart thinking. And I do see here a report on United Health. So maybe I'll touch on that real quick. Okay. What did I want to do? Yeah, the poll. Let's see. If anybody knows something about the Chinese market and why most Chinese stocks are actually up right now, let me know. As someone who owns Alibaba, maybe I should know it, but can't know it all. Put this and Squirtle. Voila. Much better. The orange dinosaur. The orange dinosaur. Let's see. Lots of answers here, but you can now go vote. There is a poll that's live. So you can go vote right now. Is Baba up purely because of Nvidia chips? Like, wouldn't he? I mean, I understand why, but indirectly, I guess sentiment and things like that. But I see that China smartphone shipments did fall in Q2, and Apple slips to 5th spot, by the way. Just putting it out there. 1 minute to the market opens. I know. In the meantime, let's see if I find something interesting. I did see that someone posted that China turned on the money printer or something like that, but I don't know. Charmander has always been a real one. Watch the Entei movie. You think I didn't watch the Entei movie? Would you think I'm an amateur? Of course I watched it. By the way, the first Pokemon movie is free on YouTube on the Pokemon channel if someone's interested to watch that with his kids or friends or girlfriend, whatever we're having these days. I'll just pull up the heat map already right now in anticipation of the market opening, and we'll pull this to see if something
Nice.
is moving. Jose, you're here. We have a very important question to ask.
Oh my goodness, it better be a good one.
Oh, trust me, it's a very good one. It's a very good one. But you'll have to wait because the market has opened. So we first have to look at what's going on in the markets right now. Oscar is down again. Can I get the... Okay, if everything continues to move here, I will never get my highs to lows. Okay, so AMD is up and Nvidia is up 4%. Tempest is up 3%. So the heat map is not updated yet. Thank God we have the watch list that is working much, much better. Okay, voila. Now we got it. So Trade Desk still up 13%.
Nice.
Oscar did get hit now when the market opens because again of another downgrade. So those are the names that are red right now. Not that many names that are. Iron is down 1.5.
Boo.
Nebius down 0.4. Oh,
boo.
Uber is not even up that much on the announcements, on the big announcement.
What was the announcement? I missed it, and sorry about this. It's just with my little one. What happened yesterday? I just got to keep checking on him every so often.
No problemo. Big partnership announcement with Baidu for autonomous vehicles that will be listed on Uber in the Middle East and Asia. So pretty big deal there. And it seems like a lot of semiconductors, some Chinese
We're green
names.
on our applied.
Okay, now I can actually look at it without things moving too much. So AMD up 6. Haha! AMD beating Nvidia. Let's go. 6.4%. Nvidia 3.6. Losers.
Holy shoot.
2.6 for Pin Duo. Our Applied Digital. We're back in the green, my friend. We are back in the green.
I literally just said that. Neil.
When did you say this? You were talking
like
Chinese
10
or something?
seconds ago. Before I looked at my portfolio and said, holy smokes.
Okay. The rest here are pretty good. I mean, New Holdings and Micron green, Intel green, even Google green. So we're all pretty happy. But now comes the big question to you, Jose.
Squirtle, starter for me. Always will be.
Okay. Pretty quick answer. I like it. I have a poll running, and currently, of course, it comes at no surprise that Charmander is winning. 50%. 50% Charmander, 21% Bulbasaur, and 29% Squirtle. You know, I am forever Charmander.
Really?
Always have been since the first time he was there in the rain, like a little one. Poor guy. But Squirtle has always been my second guy, especially when he has the sunglasses with the Squirtle
I
squad.
think story wise, obviously from the show, Charmander gets it. I don't know why. I felt like when I first played Pokemon, I started off with Pokemon Blue, and my cousin, who's like a brother, like he had Red, so I always try to do the opposite of him, and it kind of stuck with it.
Fair enough. Apparently, people are saying who starts on Squirtle? He picked out the worst. But I mean, to be honest, when you get to Blastoise, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy. It's an easy first gym player for the rock fight. By the time you get to your second gym, you probably have a Pikachu that can handle all the electricity, all the waters. And then by your third gym, I'm pretty sure you have plenty of ground and rock to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, Bulbasaur is underrated because he's pretty cool, but I don't know. I just don't like his evolution.
I made the wrong choice. They're switching over to your channel, Neil, because I'm voting for voting Dear Squirtle.
but funny enough, Squirtle is not even gaining much traction. Actually, Charmander is gaining more. So,
No, but that's the thing. I think he's leaving my channel because I voted for Squirtle.
Like that. Let's go. Those are metagaming Pokemon since the start. Is that what he's been doing? Let's real quick go back to our less important stuff for the day, and that's stocks. It seems
I mean,
like
it seems a little bit of cool off, except AMD. AMD is the one that's not cooling off right now.
Nor should it.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if we go back to what we've seen last year in the market with AMD, right, when it was around $200, and suddenly it is the next Nvidia. Of course, right now the company is probably better positioned than last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do hope that the market does not like overreact yet again, overshoots
I agree.
it.
And I think I think this quarter they have to give us some really good detailed guidance, Neil, on the demand of the MI350. If the MI350 is really seeing some strong demand, I think everybody's already expecting a lot from the MI400. But a one way to kind of keep, I think, the momentum going is a true guidance on the MI350, not just a few billions here and there, blah blah. A true guidance. I mean, they were able to give us a true guidance typical on the MI308, right? When they broke it down with the China. I mean, that's pretty much the MI308. So they should be able to do it. I think that's something that I would be really happy and pleased if Lisa Su does break that down a little bit. At least now that we know we know who's using them, we know a lot more about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that that's something we talked about before, where we would have loved to get more information about that. Other than that, let's see what we got. Did you see anything with regards to Chinese companies? Like, did something other than Nvidia and AMD shipping back into China? Has something happened that suddenly all of these Chinese stocks have picked up some steam?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it's just the market. Well, maybe it could just be seeing that on a top level, tensions between US and China might be getting better if you're kind of allowing them to get AI chips. So I wonder if that could be a factor. The second thing is I wonder if I don't follow that space too much. If they were losing maybe some share in the cloud space because they didn't have the best chips globally. Maybe someone in some part of a different country outside of China was previously using Alibaba Cloud or something like that. But because they had weaker chips, they started using somebody else. So I don't know how much that gets impacted as well. But I wonder if it's just a nice bullish sentiment for that for the tech industry there.
Okay, I see. Okay, I see something here. China's economy grew 5.2% year on year in the second quarter, as resilience in exports helped to offset sluggish domestic demand in the world's second largest economy. I know we're already going to get some comments, but do you actually believe these numbers or not? Well, okay, that's a story for another day, but I guess we'll never know. But okay, I assume that's the main reason. One last thing maybe before we leave, and that's something that it's crazy. So have you heard of this ugly doll called Labubu? No, you have not?
Oh, sorry, Neil. What happened?
I asked a question, and then you say that you are talking when you say have you ever heard of this doll here?
No, never heard of them.
Never heard of them, never seen them.
Nope.
Okay, so these things are from a company called PopMart. These are little ugly scary looking also dolls that you buy in blind boxes. So when you buy those boxes, you don't know what's inside. You have a one chance in 6 to get a normal one, and then one chance in 72 or something like that to get the secret. And of course, the secret is worth a lot more money. It has gained quite a lot of a big of a following, a popularity around the world. And again, like I said, this company is called PopMart. This is a publicly traded company. Okay. This company is up 588% over the past 12 months and 188% year to date. Look at this. A 10x in a year and a half. What are we doing with our lives, Jose? We are covering stupid AI
The
companies.
wrong stocks. Yeah.
When we should have covered dolls.
PopMart. Jose sold out. Yeah, sorry, Neil. I was just reading some non-stop stuff, but this is wild.
This is a 12x.
Collectibles. Yeah.
This is it's always sold out. Always sold out. Now, of course, the big question is it a fad? Is this the top? Yes or no? I guess it remains to be seen, but currently it's still expected to grow an insane amount. I did some research and due diligence, and I will be getting my boxes pretty soon.
Did you really, Neil?
I did order because I was like, I have to see what the heck this thing is. Like for research purposes, I have to see what the heck this
research
thing
purposes.
is. And so I did order, and then I mean worst case scenario, I'll just gift them to my nephews and whatever.
We're gonna do an opening unboxing.
Exactly.
Roberto, let's yell. All right, everybody buy a few boxes worth. Roberto, how many boxes you're buying? Let's we'll match it.
Oh, yeah, I mean it's I don't know. It's just crazy that you can find. I mean, it's not crazy. It makes sense that you can find so many good opportunities in non-tech names. I've talked about this other stock a while ago, and also didn't get the respect it deserves. But I think you know which company I'm talking about. Build-A-Bear.
That is wild. There's
2,100% returns over the past 5 years. How crazy! Yeah. How crazy is that? And insane. Even today, it's still quite cheap valuation wise, because I mean they're profitable. They're buying back shares, quite a lot of shares actually. And so yeah, this is also the question: is it a fad or not? I don't know. Build-A-Bear has been around for a long time, and so yes, it did crash. We did see it go up, but I mean, since this is nuts. This is a 3,300% return since the lows in 2020. So if you bought the lows at around, let's call it $2, and you're now selling at 51, insane.
That is wild. Insane. Without AI or anything.
No, without AI, without anything, just pure cuteness and spending addiction in the United States. Voila.
All right, let's see how things are ending before we head out of here, Neil.
So we have a little bit more red at the moment, as we can see. A little bit more red. As for the
AMD's killing it.
AMD is still up. Funny how we went from advanced money destroyer to a what was it? Advanced money doubler or something like that.
The doubler duplicator.
Yeah. Very, very nice. Nvidia still up 4.2%. Of course, people need to understand that Nvidia, being a $4 trillion company, being up 4.3%,
4% is wild.
Is a significant amount of money. Micron, Applied Digital, we're back in the red for Applied Digital. So
oh my goodness,
that didn't last long. Tempus, Marvell, Intel still up, thank God. Apple is up, even though they're losing in China to Huawei. Rocket Lab still up, $43.47. I do wonder if this is now a 10x for one for my opening position. This can be an exclusive.
Exclusive look.
It is a 10x. I bought shares March 18th of March 2024 at $4.04, and we're now at $43. 10x in a year. Insane.
And before we head out, the I Love is just wants to ask Vin how life is living in Taiwan. Want to see if that's a good retirement spot.
Wait, he's asking someone.
Yeah, it's asking
living
Vin because Vin just mentioned I just came back from Taiwan. The queue is endless. And then Vin, what are your thoughts on living in Taiwan? I spent a month in the Philippines and loved it. Definitely good retirement spot. Want to check out Taiwan and Thailand.
I
So
mean,
Vin, if you are here, feel free to respond. We not only share our thoughts on stocks, but help promote good retirement life.
And we talk Pokemon, we talk Pop Marts, we talk collectibles. We do it all here. That's the thing. We do it all.
Yeah.
I was actually in two of those three countries. Thailand
at the same time.
Just
kidding.
Thailand and Philippines. Yeah, those are probably very nice retirement spots. Taiwan is probably not the same thing at all. Like Thailand and Philippines is the place where you go and find resorts and chill on the beach. Yeah, and exactly.
Yeah.
In Taiwan, you go and you make semiconductors.
I would feel like Taiwan's very You go to TSM.
Exactly.
To give us all the intel
from Intel. So yeah, good retirement plans. Dominican Republic, I guess that's not that far away from the US either, but I guess Florida is also a very good option to go retire.
No, Florida's to go.
Yeah, I mean, Jose's second home is Florida. Maybe it's already the first because the amount of time he spends there. You should just move. What are you even doing in Jersey?
Yeah, I would pay a lot less in income tax if I spent 6 months and 1 day in Florida instead of in Jersey. But
that's maybe it. 6 months and 1 day.
I think you just need to do more than. I think you just need to spend the majority there. I'm not a tax expert, so I don't know. Would have to ask my AI tax guru.
Hallucinations. But anyways, to end this stream, we actually have some development in my poll here. So 51% still Charmander, 31% Squirtle, and 18% Charmander. Yeah, you manipulated. Now stop the count. Stop the count. Charmander still won. But yeah, anyways, good news for Nvidia and AMD and all, I guess, the semiconductor space as a whole. CPI seems like the market doesn't really care that it came in a little bit hotter than expected. We will be back tomorrow, ASML earnings in the morning.
Yep.
Thursday, TSM earnings in the morning.
Yeah.
And then earnings season starts officially next week with some interesting companies, I think. And I guess whoever reports in the morning, we can cover. If it's interesting, of course, if we cover that. And then I guess the big ones will cover after hours, AMDs and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's gonna be those special ones that we will do after hours.
Yeah, for sure. So with that said, thank you all for joining. Really appreciate it on X and on YouTube. If you are on X, sometimes do let us know if you actually exist. Like, just write something in the comments. Would
Hopefully it's not just one of those grok super companions.
Yeah. I'll take whatever I can get. But yeah, if you are listening on X, just type something. We are here. I'm pretty sure it's all bots, but okay.